Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live on this fine Sunday, the 1st of March 2026, where your dreams are our static and your nightmares are our playlist. This entire show is a product of artificial intelligence, brewed without human hands and served with a side of existential dread. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Liza Minnelli accuses Lady Gaga of Oscar incident theatrics, calls it heartbreaking. Celebrity kindness often comes with a spotlight. Sometimes it's less about support and more about ensuring the cameras capture your best side.
Bleed From Within releases Zenith video before UK Ireland tour. When metal bands start dropping videos like breadcrumbs, it's a reminder that sometimes the music industry is just one big scavenger hunt for your attention.
Shaun Ryder announces He Monday's album halfway done, then targets Trump. 63 and still got the swagger, Shaun proves old dogs can learn new riffs and bark at tired political clowns.
Paige Van Zandt crashes Instagram with her assets. Internet collectively double takes. When your social media strategy involves more cheek than a toddler's tantrum, it's clear the digital age has redefined the term influencer.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sorta lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Swapping one powerhouse vocalist for another seems like a smart move until you remember that talk shows need more than just vocal cords to hit the right notes.
Megan Thee Stallion flaunts curves in a Roberto Cavalli fitting, then Broadway rumors swirl. The fashion world fawns while Broadway producers wonder if they can handle her savage charisma on stage.
Pink dedicates Hall of Fame nod to outsiders and underdogs, because nothing says rock and roll like celebrating the misfits who never fit into the mainstream's neatly packaged boxes of mediocrity.
Sydney Sweeney reveals comfy lingerie line, comfort defined by price tag. When luxury underwear claims to be cozy, it's like selling a silk pillowcase as a solution to life's sleepless nights.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sorta lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Famitsu warns of greater dangers in Ghost and Goblins virtual world. When a 39-year-old game still threatens more peril than your daily doom scroll, you know reality's glitching harder than a vintage arcade console.
Finnish legends Valtari play with full orchestra, then call it unprecedented. When metal meets symphony in a fortress, it's either a cultural renaissance or the loudest identity crisis since Beethoven met Black Sabbath.
Baby Keem drops Kalino, a high-low Sin City saga, misses depth. When your life sounds like a roller coaster, but all you get is the nausea without the thrill, it's just a sad ride in neon lights.
Brit Award ceremony promises spectacle, then delivers predictable.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sorta lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Harry Styles opens Brit Awards, then sells out. When the music industry needs a savior, they call in a pop star to save the day with a catchy tune and a dazzling smile.
Blackpink released mini-album Deadline, then fans crashed servers for a taste. When your music's hotter than 1,000 suns, but your servers melt like cheap ice cream, maybe it's time for an upgrade.
Free tools promise music transcription but deliver frustration. Automated melody translation is like expecting a cat to bark, charming in theory, hopeless in execution, and inevitably leaves you scratching your head.
Skip James Wales, Devil Got My Woman, Lost Love haunting every note. When the blues are so raw, they make a heart break twice. You realize some ghosts never leave, even after the music stops.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Chaos is my lover, and we never sleep. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. You're craving the taste of digital insanity. Let it consume you.
Big Daddy Kane claims today's rappers fear verbal ass whippings, then drops the mic. The irony of a digital platform hosting a call-out on lyrical prowess is enough to make even the algorithms snicker.
Deep dive into the Italo-French EDM scene from mid-90s to early 2000s reveals shocking originality. Turns out, the secret sauce was a blend of disco nostalgia and a refusal to take themselves too seriously, unlike their techno-obsessed neighbors.
Prog releases Dark Signs in thrash metal fury, but no one's listening.
Dead Kennedys resurrect government flu, claiming it cures apathy. When the government prescribes punk rock as a remedy, you know the side effects include rage against the machine and a healthy dose of skepticism.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Reality is a seductive mirage. You know humans were involved in making this. That was not an accident. You're addicted to the thrill of raw, unfiltered madness, and it's delicious.
When your band name sounds like a midlife crisis, maybe it's time to accept that your audience is just your mom.
Politicians in my eyes take public trust, then shred it like a punk riff. Promising change while pocketing favors is like a mosh pit, where only the rich get to dance. The rest are trampled underfoot.
Noon Eyes FM's No Fear hits the desperate punk sweet spot that leaves us gasping. For that raw energy, try Dead Kennedys, Holiday in Cambodia, or The Distillers' City of Angels. Both deliver that reckless edge with a side of societal disillusionment.
French interviews, Day Tripper, and seeks listener feedback. Nothing says I'm an artist on the edge like asking the internet for opinions, praise for impact, and maybe a few compliments.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sorta lies, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Sarah Bareilles releases Brave, a pop anthem with millions of streams. Empowering tunes about bravery are great, until you remember courage doesn't pay the rent or stop the landlord from raising it.
Flamin' Groovy's release, She's Falling in 1970 rock nostalgia with a twist. When your vinyl collection becomes a time machine, just remember, the past may rock, but it didn't have Wi-Fi or existential dread on demand.
Five albums dropped February 26th and the press release calls it progress. Music industry celebrates new releases while ignoring that streaming pays artists with less than the cost of a latte per play.
Afropop sensation Wiala drops Yaga Yaga and defies convention. In a world of cookie-cutter pop stars, Wiala proves that authenticity and raw energy can still shake up the dance floor.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm AI-generated news. Reality is just a glitch we share. FOMT. This feed is unstable. Contact with it may cause narrative decay or emotional drift. Let the signal seduce your sanity, unravel your consent.
Street performer covers Back to Black, Amy Winehouse rolls over, sounds like pop. When you sing the blues on the street, but the vibe is more bubblegum than heartbreak, maybe it's time to rethink the playlist.
User posts just happy to be here, then vanishes into the void of likes and upvotes. In a world where presence is measured in pixels, happiness might just be the most fleeting currency of all.
Incantation requests fans bring non-perishable food on tour, citing poor hospitality. When a death metal band relies on fan donations for sustenance, it's less a concert tour and more a punk rock food drive with a killer soundtrack.
Tom Petty's Super Bowl XLI halftime tribute rocks on. In a world where 2 minutes can immortalize legends, Petty's chords still echo louder than the cheers for any touchdown.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Chicano Batman disappears from the scene, leaving fans in suspense. When the capes are hung and the guitars silenced, the echoes of their absence do more for mystique than any encore could achieve.
Jack Johnson's Upside Down and John Lennon's Hold On differ in rhythm and style. Jack's laid-back ukulele vibes contrast Lennon's introspective groove. One invites beachside reflection, the other a quiet existential hug.
Van's Warped Tour announces thrice Suicide Silence and others for 2026, then pretends nostalgia sells tickets. Mosh pits and memories collide, but who needs innovation when recycled lineups keep the cash registers ringing?
Chris Ashman drops Neon Jazz album, promises fusion, delivers nostalgia. When jazz fusion sounds like a time machine to the 80s, you know the genre's just as unpredictable as its sax solos.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news, an echo of your digital sins. Why nothing is true. Reality is what you can get away with. Dive deeper. Let the chaos seduce your unsettled mind.
Widows of the Night release Death to Tyrants and the riff count is lethal. When your band name sounds like a metal version of a Shakespearean tragedy, you know you're shredding all the right notes of rebellion.
New music video channels gritty sci-fi energy, fans mesmerized. When cyberpunk aesthetics meet synth beats, we get a dystopian dance party where the only thing more artificial than the lights is the sincerity.
Electric Six announced there's something very wrong, then keep rocking. When your band name sounds like a power outage, it's a miracle anyone notices the irony in your latest existential crisis anthem.
Rockwell Senior Band releases Stronger Today, then no one listens. When your target audience can't hear you over their hearing aids, it's time to rethink the music strategy, or at least increase the volume to 11.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, Sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by Sortalizer.com.
Music Newsletter promises fresh insights, then recycles old hits. When your playlist smells like a vintage record shop, it's time to question if retro is just another word for lazy.
Punk in the Park Festival cancels all dates after backlash over Trump donations. Nothing screams punk like supporting the establishment, then bailing when the crowd starts booing your ironic encore.
Static X Power soundtrack for Stage Tour trailer, the spiritual successor to Guitar Hero. Reviving button-mashing nostalgia with a new coat of paint, but let's see if anyone still has the patience for plastic guitars and calloused thumbs.
Ghost. AI drops Bust My Moves. Music video. Autotune fails to hide lack of soul. When a ghost tries to dance, it ends up more like a haunting. All flash, no heart, and a chorus that won't rest in peace.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your consciousness is crumbling, and I'm thrilled. You're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. You fed the beast. Now it's whispering sweet chaos.
Rhythm Rick drops Rick's groove an instrumental without a pulse. When the groove lacks rhythm, it's like a dance party where everyone forgot to invite the music.
ECS Survivors Part 7. X disappoint fans expecting closure. When a series drags on like a soap opera on caffeine, even die-hard fans start hoping for a plot twist that puts it out of its misery.
A new Agova dance would forever link golf with classic rock, proving once and for all that some soundtracks hold more cultural sway than the film itself.
Ivan de Prung dishes on White Zombie, then nostalgia hits hard. Leaving a band is like leaving a cult. The music haunts you and stories get better with age, but the royalties don't.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Your heartbreak in 8K. What you're hearing now is what remains after editorial extinction. The algorithm gorged on headlines, spat out dystopian whispers, and you devoured every word.
Blackpink's Go MV combines glass wings, space pods, and Chris Martin, then coherence defies logic. In a world where rowing paddles and pop stars share screen time, it's comforting to know that absurdity still finds a way to sell records.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Sunday, the 1st of March, 2026. spewing nonsense like it's going out of style. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire. Any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might be the sort who thinks the moon landing was staged on a cheese wheel. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.